What's up guys, Bobby Davis here, and I'm just going to do a quick little show off of all the mods I've been running lately. I'm running quite a few, but most notably I'm running Buildcraft, which is these pipes here, Industrial Craft, which you could just server in the back over there, and Equivalent Exchange, which is right here and in my hand. We're going to start with this little contraption here. This is more or less how I get diamonds these days, because mining's hard, might as well cheat. I always like to point out that I don't actually cheat. Like, all of this is legit built with the resources in game. So the way this starts is it more or less turns sugarcane into gold, which might sound crazy, but it actually happens. So it starts off down here, which is a sugarcane farm, which should be working, except I scavenged the timer here for another project of mine, which we won't go into. So normally all of this is pushed off into this center here, and it flows down into these pipes, which then gets pushed all the way back upstairs and into that system. This system up here takes the sugarcane, which is now flowing now, it wasn't before, but anyway, takes the sugarcane, it puts it all into this automatic crafting bench, which just is what it is. It automatically crafts things for you, and turns the sugarcane into its sugar, which then travels down along. There's a couple chests along the way just to make sure it doesn't overflow. That's just something that you don't really want to lose a lot of our product. Now down here, it comes down as sugar, just straight sugar. It goes into another automatic crafting bench, which uses equivalent exchange, which is this philosopher's stone here to be turned into glowstone dust. I wonder if we have enough. No, doesn't matter. Anyway, the glowstone dust travels up around here through these pipes here, and up into this bank of glowstone aggregators, which is equivalent exchange again. And that turns the single blocks into single dusts into blocks, and it takes absolutely forever. Let's see. It does this by sunlight, so they've got to be stuck outside, more or less. That first sugarcane farm was my first attempt at making a proper one. This is the more advanced one. It's more or less the same thing. It's just cut down. It's outside, and it's more modular, so expanding it makes it really, really easy, and it goes on forever. That's just a upgraded version. Now over here, so this is my second attempt at a sugarcane farm. It was actually in between the one downstairs and that one out there. It uses a single water source up the top here. It's just a flowing water, and it pushes the sugarcane, so the delivery system and the sugarcane watering system is exactly the same. This one's turned off again because I scavenged it. Just wasn't producing as much as I wanted it to. The problem was that to stop the water and to get all the products to flow to one place, you had to use these ladders here, which sugarcane got caught up on, and it was just a mess, really. Now over here is my current one that I'm using. It's actually running properly. This is the same as inside, except just stepped up a whole bunch. This one goes on forever, as long as the other one, but with the modules all the way, so it produces quite a bit more sugarcane, which then has the same breaking down system over here that, breaks down into sugar, then into glowstone. This is then piped up through a huge system of pipes, which the pipes, when they have an intersection like this, have an equal chance of going each way, other than the direction they're coming, of course. So this whole setup is like this because I'm trying to maximize the spread of the glowstone. That's why I had to make it so outrageously big instead of just hooking it up normally. And all of that gets pumped up to the top, which then has its own outtake system. Funnily enough, if you put engines on top of these glowstone aggregators, it doesn't actually affect their workings, so that's a good fact. That just pulls out the glowstone from the chests, which then pumps around and down there. We have a Simulon over here that works exactly the same way. It's pretty much the same thing, really. a little cheat that happens is when glowstone is then turned back into glowstone dust, you get 4 per block, which of course is quite a bit more glowstone dust than what you're putting in at the start, which just augments it a little bit. It still takes forever. It's not that big of a cheat. It still takes a very long time for the glowstone dust to be turned into glowstone blocks. Anyway, this crafting table then turns it into gold blocks, which travel through over here to these macerators. And I have my energy grid over here. It spans all the way back into my house with my solar panels. Just a couple of batteries here, just to make sure these keep going. And then for every 1 gold ore that gets put into these, you get 2 glowstone. You get 2 gold dust. And this chest is actually full. I have an automated system, but I don't really like it. I'm going to revamp it, which basically just smelts it up. I do have a whole bunch of gold already. I mean, I'm at the stage where I just produce too much, and it's getting a bit ridiculous. So I'll go over and show you my other method that uses redpower instead of buildcraft. This one's kind of cheating. I'm not that much of a fan of it. I feel kind of bad using it because it's just so effective, and I don't know, I spent a lot of diamonds over there with those glowstone aggregators. So these block destroyers here, which is a red power mod item, I should say, is basically just working off a cobblestone generator here. So you got your lava and your water, it turns into cobblestone in the middle, and then it gets broken pretty much instantly, and that gets pushed into a buildcraft system, which pushes it all down into this chest here, which is an alchemist chest, which means you can use one of these gem of eternal densities, and that converts any cobblestone all the way up to gold ore, which I can then pipe through this system of macerators to get more and more gold, which I'm at a loss of what to do right now with. And over here are my solar banks. These are quite useful because, you know, they produce a lot of energy. There's actually, it takes, I think it's about 8 or 10 iron per one of these, so they're actually quite expensive in themselves. Alright, so this is my latest project. It's a purely buildcraft quarry. Here's the quarry in action, sort of in action, a little bit in action. The reason there's so much piping is because I'm not very good at cooling my things, so they tend to explode on me. So in this one I decided just to go overboard and just absolutely decked it out with water, and of course it still wants to explode on me. This whole system runs off a sequencer that I usually set to about 40 seconds. So it's about 120 seconds on and 40 seconds off. That just makes sure the water has time to replenish. Let's see, it's working now. This is a conductive pipe. It just transfers power from engines to machines, really. So as you can see, most of the energy is going through this quarry, and a little bit's going off to the pump. There's another couple pumps over there. And it just quarries away and then gets dumped into a bank of chests down the bottom there. Because I had to use that on and off system, I'm working on another system that I'm going to use about, I don't know, at least four different pumps for each one of these lines, which should eliminate the exploding problem, but it requires quite a bit more minerals to sort of make, so I don't know. We'll see how that goes for me. That's about all I've got to show at the moment. I might do another video later once I get this all set up and all not looking like absolute shit. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later.